I'm about to play you a video about Left 4 Dead that is entirely false. I just want you to remember that when you play it, and I'll talk about it afterwards. But it is a 100% false video. And it has 500,000 views, and I'm already hearing it being repeated. So let's talk about it.
Did you know the Left 4 Dead survivors were originally planned to die? In the very first trailer Turtle Rock released, the survivors weren't unstoppable zombie-killing machines. They were victims. One by one, you actually see them get picked off and killed, with no hope of surviving. This was the original direction Turtle Rock had planned, a brutal, horror-focused game where survival was never guaranteed. But when Valve stepped in, they completely reworked the concept. Instead of disposable survivors, the game became about teamwork, replayability, and actually having a fighting chance against the infected.
Which version of the survivors story do you prefer?
Okay, so before I explain how that's so wrong, if you don't know me, my name is Jeff Elzak. I worked at Valve for 12 years. I was a project lead on Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, the first one with Michael Booth, the second one with Tom Leonard. And I was the first Valve employee working at Turtle Rock before Turtle Rock became Valve South. No, never really. And so none of this in the video is true. The trailer is actually made by Valve, and we made it when we had realized that we needed to have a way to explain how to play the game. If you look at my last video that's about tutorials, I was really dead set, and this was some other people, but really got in arguments with people that we couldn't make a tutorialization of the game because no one would want to play that every time. We needed just to throw you in, and you were going to come with your friends, and so your friends might come in mid-game. Like, you just had to be able to pick up and play the game. And so the really smart people who make trailers at Valve said, hey, we can tutorialize the game inside of the trailer, and that was them. That was just, again, working with really smart, brilliant people. I'll get to why that all matters. Well, obvious, but so that's why the trailer exists. The game itself was great in the very beginning, right? I got to be excited and tell Gabe about this game I just got to play, and he's just like, go work on it. And that's why I started working on it before, and Valve was paying me to go down to Orange County, hellhole, to go work on it out of our own dime because I was just so excited about it. And like, that game existed as it does now then. In some ways, right? The big change wasn't that all the characters died off. The only thing was there's only versus, so there wasn't versus in co-op, and in versus mode, much as you would expect, and it was only versus one way. So you played Survivor all the way one side, and you played zombies the other side the whole way. And then if you wiped the survivors, you restarted. That was it. So we added that you flipped teams and that you swapped and that you just kept going. Like, that's not a fundamental change of, oh my god, it used to be this horror game and then it wasn't. No, and Left 4 Dead 1 is more horror based than Left 4 Dead 2, which is more kind of action based. Everyone tries to say, oh, they took it and made it cinematic. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. But the trailer, which is cinematic, solved that problem of showing how the game would come together and how you would play it. That's all it did, right? There was no, they took it over and then they changed it. What we did was, though, is we applied a bunch of polish and we applied the weight of Valve to the game. So now when I first went down and started working on Turtle Rock, it was just me. Like, I attended their Christmas party, and there's like 7 of us. And karaoke, so it's awkward. We're hanging out. Somewhere I still have the Christmas gift I got, the iPod. But it was tiny, it was small, and we were working it that way, and we started getting more people in Valve involved. And that was me recruiting people to join me upstairs on the 11th floor. We'd split floors. I was up on the 11th floor. And I'd gotten some more people to come join me, and we started applying that polish, and some of the senior people at Valve started looking, going, oh, this game's going to be better than we thought. But here's the problem. We have to first ship the orange box. So I'm working on the orange box and Left 4 Dead together at the same time. Eventually, you just have to concentrate on the orange box, come back to Left 4 Dead. And this is the game we shipped. And we started to make some of those changes that we talked about making. And as we're going through it, there's like a bunch of weird stuff. Someday I should do a video of the weird changes we had to make. But there's this, like, the biggest change was just applying the polish of Valve. And that means applying the team that makes the tutorials and giving them that problem to solve and them solving it, right? And they're really good at it. And they just kept making iterations on it. And you had a whole team making that trailer was bigger than the entire Turtle Rock team. And I seen the comments of that video that I just posted is there's a bunch of negativity around Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock was super talented. It's really hard to replicate how Left 4 Dead was made because it got the full force of Valve behind it. The full force. And it's hard to diminish of the people who made the engine, who understand the game and everything the best, working on it. And a couple examples I'll use is just like, so first of all, it became a pizza party. I would supply pizza and beer, and 24/7 people would be playing Left 4 Dead. It's just the way it was. Everybody's working on it. Everybody's trying to help it. And this becomes an issue that later senior people at Valve will realize that we got to stop everything and stop just working on one game and be able to have teams not stop and keep doing their work while other people are crunching. Because we were crunching. I remember getting a phone call of like, hey, we're out of beer. Does anyone need me to go on a beer run? And me being like, oh, solved it by getting kegs in the fridge. And then got email, someone complaining there wasn't room for their sandwich. Nerd. But like, right, it's just everyone was there. And I always remember towards the end of the project, Gabe was trying to give me a compliment and about how well it was coming together and everything. I was like, no, it's not me. It's not me. And I pointed to David Spire and Ito. David, you might know him as the guy, Hammer guy. And he was doing triage. Him and Ito were doing triage. Ito wanted to learn to do triage, and David was sitting there crunching as a senior guy at Valve, spending late at nights, going over the bugs. Triage is when you go through all the bugs and you decide what's going to get fixed and not. And him and I will talk about it because I knew the game well, but he knew the source engine, Hammer, and everything, right? And trying to get things into perf and how to fix things. I got a little story on that in the end here. And Ito wanted to learn it because Ito wanted to lead a project. And Ito led, this is a great example of how Valve works, is Ito then would go lead CSGO, and he did that by pure will. He had wanted to do that for a while, couldn't get it started internally, got the okay after this to do with Hidden Path, and then once that started going, then Valve threw their weight behind that. But again, it's like the entire weight of Valve behind this. That's who's doing the triage, right? That's crazy. Now, I will take back those kind words for David just for one night. One night is I'm coming back from Russia, did some press thing there. I'm sick, just recovered sick. I like recover on the plane flight back, but I'm jet lagged, coming to work, and we have to get the game out to Xbox. We decide we're gonna just go the next morning at 9 in the morning and drop it off because we can't even get it to FedEx. We're too late. We're too late to even upload it. And at 4 in the morning, David finally has it, and he's just like, every map loads 3 times. I can't take that anymore. I have a way that'll just make it load twice. If you ever wonder why we had to switch to Left 4 Dead 2 and do a so quickly, this is one of the reasons. And so he makes the fix, and I'm like, please don't, just leave it. Leave it. It's good. We can ship what we have. And it just those maps take so long to load, and that's why. And so he fixes it, and they have to do a rebuild. An entire rebuild takes 2 hours. And that means we're sitting there just killing time, waiting for this rebuild, maybe looking for bugs in the current build, but everyone's really tired because it's 4 in the morning. We do it, and nope. What happens was you're playing, just randomly characters disappear. Who knows? So we have to undo that, rebuild it, get it out, send it over. Someone drives it over to Xbox that morning. But a bunch of us have been up now at that point, I've been up, I don't know how many hours. And I go to drive home, and all of a sudden I remember being in the car and turning on to I-5 South from 90 and being like, where the hell am I? Because I'd maybe fallen asleep, maybe not. I don't know, scary. But all of a sudden I realized I was driving, and I don't want to crunch like that ever again. I don't want to be like that again. But that's what took it to make that game. So there's comments in that video that's just knocking Turtle Rock. No, Turtle Rock did the work. They made a great game. Valve took their whole power, and then we made it even better. And that's how it worked. And that's why it's so hard for anybody to replicate that, because that magic of what that happened takes all of Valve's concentration on it. And that's hard to replicate.